What's up, good people of the vinyl community? This is a response to Brendan, Another 12 Inches. Um, he showed one of his little devices, one of his little boxes that go bleep bleep and bloop bloop, and it inspired me to show I'm walking down that same path, my man. And I've delved into buying another box. That's just what I need. I have a little bit of an addiction to buying portable drum machines and sequencers and samplers and basically anything you can make music on that fits in your backpack. And I broke down and bought a QY70. This here is the QY70 from Yamaha, same company I believe your device is from. I have wanted this device since it came out in the 90s, and it's gone down in price like you said. And so I couldn't resist picking one up. They were always pretty cheap though. I just kind of resisted it for a long time, and now I'm kind of like working a lot, so I figured let me get a bunch of stuff out of the way. So anyway, I haven't really gotten that far with it. I will play you what I have gotten into with it. I've only had it a week, and I want to talk about it. I made some points in that you mentioned in your video that I kind of want to throw at you and see if we can get a dialogue going here about this, because it was very interesting to see someone else in the VC making music with electronic devices, and I, like you, want to try to make music that wasn't intended for these devices, and I'm a big fan of Square Pusher. So anyway, I'll play you just for a second. I mean, the easiest thing for me to make on any new toy is reggae. It's just kind of like, it's like a go-to to figure a machine out. So I made a little kind of, I don't know what you call this, like digital rocksteady or digital. You know, what was cool was that you could get a little bit of that low-end wah-wah, like dubstep-y bass sound. I know that's nothing compared to what they do, but just to sort of try to figure it out. I did that, and then I also made, this device has a weird system where it does an intro, a main part A, a main part B, and an ending. So it kind of restricts you to that type of song form. I'm sure there's a way around it yet, but I haven't figured it out yet. But the other thing I made is, I mean, I wouldn't say this is as good as Kraftwerk or even close to sounding like Kraftwerk, but it's very electronic sounding, and I figured I was going to play, I have a trumpet part that I'm actually going to play over this. So I did this too. You know, I mean, it's a little John Tesh sounding too. Like, that's the problem with a lot of these 90s machines, the Switch, you know, is that they have like a, I don't know, a synthy, a bad synthy quality, and you really got to work hard to make them sound not like that. But I was just messing around with it. This is the first beat I made on it. The reggae thing was the second. So you know, yeah, I'm totally on board with the retro future idea of music, QY70. So I definitely wanted to show you that. And a couple points I wanted to make to you. Well, right off the bat, I don't mean to be a ranting complainer about my thread. And definitely big ups and shout outs and respect to MG Foster, who responded to my thread. I assume that showing braindance, breakcore, and IDM and electronica and anything that was made with a drum machine, basically, on 7-inch is kind of, it's a specific, and leave it to me to come up with some specific annoying thread that people can't seem to like really join in on. But either way, I was really happy to see someone show, and the records that MG Foster that you showed were really cool, and I'm very interested in trying to get that series. But Brendan, my man, techno, you know, no 7 inches? Come on, brother. But if you don't have them, that's cool, but it would be great to see more, because I do have that aspiration to fill a 45 box like this one here, up with nothing but IDM, breakcore, techno, minimal stuff, and just do a DJ night that you know, I guess when people hear DJ night, they assume I want people to dance, but I actually want people to run away screaming and never want to dance again, like George Michael. But anyway, so more things I wanted to discuss. Back to the idea of these, my response, retro future devices and making beats on bleepy bloopy boxes. I hear what you're saying about the computer. And I myself want to be freed from this chain of the computer, this box that controls my life. But not just because of music. It's just I just find myself sitting at a computer one way or the other. However, I kind of feel like it's inevitable that whenever I make something on a device like this, the next place it's going is into Pro Tools. And I find it very hard to stay within the device. I have a lot of respect for releases that are done specifically like that, but at the same time, I also think it's like, you know, it's a limitation that's cool, but at the same time, it's like I have a recording studio. I do some of my videos from this annex here. It's my little secret lab, my secret location, but my main studio is a recording studio that I built with a live room, a vocal booth, and I have Pro Tools, LE, I guess they made it all HD now, and a 1/4-inch machine, half-inch 8-track, and even I try to do things all analog. You know, I know there's a big movement. I don't know if everybody in the VC is familiar with Tape Op magazine, but there's a big movement they have to keep things analog, and I respect that, believe me, and I definitely think it sounds better. And I hear what you're saying, that the computer has this like go-to sound that everybody seems to achieve, but it's inevitable that I will edit in Pro Tools. The ease is of editing and chopping and moving is, especially compared to tape. I like to challenge myself sometimes and stick with just tape, but you know, I feel like the best combination is, my point is, a combo of you know, the past and the ease of digital editing and all that. So that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to mention to you was the idea of older devices being cheaper now. Well, I agree with you if we're talking 90s devices like a QY70, but when it comes to older drum machines like the TR-303 or 808 or 909, I mean, you're going to pay upwards of $1,400 or way more for any of those. And here's the thing, the reason why I'm bringing that up is I find that these devices take me a while to start getting original with, because when these came out, it was right around the same time that Reason and Ableton were getting more popular, and computer-based DAWs were really taking over. And so these devices were trying to keep up with that. So there's lots of little windows and menus, and the older drum machines, like an 808 or a 909 or a 303, it's there. And if you get older, if you go back to like the 70s and 60s drum machines, I mean, those are just plug and play. And I like things that are plug and play more and more these days. A lot of the apps on my phone are becoming, you know, instantaneous. I mean, I just uploaded a beat to the Facebook that made all on my phone, you know what I mean? And it sounds like, you know, I mean, I'm not patting myself on the back, but it definitely doesn't sound like dinky, you know. It's got big bass and kick and all that stuff. And you were talking about how, like, as you get older, you're less getting into the idea of, like, going toward the big beat, and you want a little bit more of that, like, you're trying to make these devices sound like not what they were intended for. And I'm on the same page. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. However, I feel that with the 90s devices, it's harder. There's harder workarounds you got to figure out. So I just want to throw that out there. And I'm totally down with the idea of making retro. I like the phrase you coined. And I think it could be, you know, the next, you know, if there's a genre that needs more subgenres, it's electronic music. So retro future tech, I think, RTF for short. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm in. I'm definitely in. And just while we're going here, see, I have a few more minutes left. 5 minutes left. I just want to talk to the VC. I want to say thank you to Memphis Vinyl Jim for all the love he's showing on Facebook, and man, that was a great conversation we had today, and I got a lot more suggestions towards soul jazz and funky jazz. I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for doo-wop and other things we talked about. And I discovered what VCLT means. I was like, I guess that means I'm really becoming a part of this, because I had no idea what that meant. And now I know. It stands for VC, Vinyl Community Love Train. So I'm definitely down with that. Anybody wants to send me anything, I am open. As you watch my channel, I'm sure you'll understand what I'm looking for. And I will definitely return the love. So that's great. And the other thing I just want to throw out there is that I noticed in a couple of videos, Brendan, yourself, and Derek, and a few other people here and there in their videos will be talking about sort of like this like looming, mysterious, unnamed bully of the VC. And maybe not. Maybe I'm just interpreting it that way. But I find that like hard to believe, because everybody I've been watching, and I know there's a lot of channels that I'm not subscribed to yet, but it just seems impossible that the people that I've been watching would be like leaving bad comments or whatever. And so, you know, death to that guy. No. I'm just saying, I actually want to say that being from New York and being Italian-American, I inherently am sarcastic and kind of an asshole at times. So I'm like hyper aware, and I always assume it's me. I know it's not, though. But it's just funny. Like whenever I see these rants, I'm like, oh man, did I say something? I always assume, because maybe that's just some shit I'm going through right now. I just kind of feel like everything's my fault. But either way, I'm trying to make sure that I don't, you know, get into my, you know, bad habits of being a wise ass, basically. So, and out of respect for the VC, because everybody's just so cool here. So, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. If anybody has any idea, man, definitely respond to the thread if you can. I appreciate MG Foster, and yeah, man, I just want to send more positive vibrations, and look forward to more updates from me, and you know, retro future. All right, peace, y'all.